guys, it's Kelly here and I'm back with another video. Today I am using the Jingle Hugs stamp and die for my favorite things. First we're going to stamp it down just for placement purposes to do the background because I am going to be die cutting it out of a separate piece of paper that I color and piece of cardstock, and then popping it up above my scene. So this is a pretty quick and simple snowy scene that if you have distress inks and a little bit of masking paper, you can totally put together. I use Perfect Pearls. You'll see that when we get there. I use them on everything. They're relatively inexpensive, but if you don't have them, you could totally just use water and make that work. You could also do the dots with like Stardust Stickles if you wanted glitter. There's lots of things you could use. So we'll talk about that. Here I'm just using, I prefer Eclipse masking paper. Use whatever you have on hand. If you don't have any on hand and you can't afford it, do what I used to do, which is take a piece of copy paper, put a little bit of repositional glue on the back. I prefer Tombow Mono Multi Glue, and then just use that as your mask. I did that for years and it totally works. This is a little bit more convenient, and now that I can afford it, I prefer this, but the other way works well. So, anywho, picked out my distress ink colors for my sky. You know, normally I go bright blue. I thought it would be fun to add in a little bit of teal this time around. I kind of wish, in hindsight, that I had left a little bit of a lighter edge where my snowbank was, but I wanted the snowbank to be defined, and so I knew I'd have to bring the color all the way down. I just probably didn't have to bring it down as dark. But whatever, we'll make that scene for a different card because winter lasts 500 years in Ohio. So just going to go through, if you guys watch my videos before, you know I do my distress inking twice, though I will say when I add the Mermaid Lagoon, which is coming next, it gives kind of like a Northern Lights, like Aurora Borealis vibe, and I'm kind of feeling that. So I might try to recreate that on another card. It's like a little bit more mottled. TT, not D. But anyway, so I thought that was super pretty, and it's funny how like creating one thing gives you ideas for other things. So I may try that on another card. And then, I do them twice. That's the part that I missed out on saying. I always do them twice so that they're nice and saturated. In hindsight, I wish that I had not used the Salty Ocean. I know, blue is my boyfriend, and that's probably shocking for you to hear. But I wish that I had done a lighter teal. I did end up going back over the Salty Ocean, not with, like, after I did it and I realized I was going from blue to teal to blue, I didn't really love it. And so I pulled out the salvaged patina and I went over it to add another layer of teal to it, and it ended up working out okay, but I wish that I had started with that in the first place. I didn't. It is what it is. I certainly wasn't going to start over. You know how I feel about that. Here, in order to get some variation in the sky for our little snowy night scene, I am using just clean water. This is a number 2 round brush so that my speckles are pretty small. And then I'm going to use Perfect Pearls to add a little bit of shine in the background. Also, I just really like them. But like I said, if you wanted to add shine, when we get to the part where we're putting in the stars, you can certainly do that with like a Stardust Stickles, or like a Pearl Nouveau Drop if you're very careful. There's just other things you can use to add shine if you don't have Perfect Pearls, or maybe they're, just outside of your budget. Here for the snow, of course, I had to add in a little bit of shadow because I can't just leave the bottom stark white. I got problems with that. So I am using Speckled Egg, which is a great snow color. Great, great, great. And then I'm adding a little bit of shaded lilac over top of it, which is normally my go-to snow color, but I thought it would be fun to kind of mix them, and I was right. Imagine that. And this is just, to give them a little bit of ground to stand on so that the bottom, like I said, isn't just like that stark contrasting white. Here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the image down, again, on a separate piece of cardstock. I use Neenah 80 pound, what is it? What is the white called? It's a classic crest, but there's a white, super white. Let me look. Let me just have a peek here. It's sitting right next to me. Nope, it doesn't say. I can't remember. Yeah, it'll be linked in the description below like everything else. But that's just the 80 pound. There's a lot of card makers that use the 110. I prefer the 80. I just feel like the Copics blend better on it because the cardstock is not as thick. And so yeah, that's basically my only reasoning. I am going to color the whole image with Copics. It has been a while since I colored with Copics. Just because, as we have talked recently on my videos, that time is at a premium for me right now. And I have to be selective about what I'm spending my time doing. And in order for me to still be able to create things and put content out there, I have to just be aware of how I'm spending my time. And I know Copics take a long time. I am much faster at it than some people just because I do it all the time, but not as fast as, I mean, it's just not as fast as some things. Like if you wanted to color something quickly, my go-to would be ink blending, 100%. Like if I just wanted to color it and get it over, like add lots of color quickly, that would be it. Watercolor is another way, as long as you're not doing like controlled watercolor, that you can just like zig clean color markers, just scribble them on the paper, add some water, ta-da, big, bright, bold colors, super fast. Here, I'm with her hair. So I didn't realize when I was first coloring this that the section to the right is not one section. Well, I shouldn't say, is not two sections. One of them is this dude's ear, and I did not even see that when I was coloring it, which just goes to show you that I'm sleep deprived. No, I'm not, because my husband's awesome, and he takes the middle of the night feeding so that I can sleep through the night, and then I get up with her at whatever, 5:30, 6:30, whatever time her next feeding is, so that I can get a solid night's sleep, because he is fantastic like that. So, speaking of, what were we just talking about? What was it? My mind's going. The other day for dinner, I was going to get a drink, and I went to go pour just coffee creamer into my regular glass. Like, there was no coffee. It wasn't even a coffee mug. I also left my purse in the garage this morning. When I came back from taking Peanut to school, I got out of my car, I grabbed my purse, I set the purse down in the garage. I got Caitlin out of, unclipped her car seat from the base, and I carried her in. And then 2 hours later, Eric found my purse in the garage. He was like, "You're losing your mind," and I am. So, that's just what happened when you have a baby. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was reels. Okay, so a friend of mine recently had we were having some discussion about like social media and different things that you can do to kind of push your information out there. And I'm really terrible about it, I'm be honest. Like, I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, like, I don't even try to like remind you guys to subscribe and like click the notification bell. I don't even say that, because I feel like that's pushy, and I don't want that. Like, I figure if you like the content and you want to keep coming back, you'll hit subscribe, and then you'll, click the notification bell. But apparently, like every other YouTube creator says it, and I just don't do it. Just like I've only recently started talking about my affiliate links, because I don't want you guys to feel obligated to purchase the things that I'm using. Now, I would love if you are going to purchase something anyway, if you would use my links. I had a wonderful Instagram follower send me a message the other day, and she was like, "Hey, do you have a link to this store so I can shop through it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Thank you so much for asking. Like, that was amazing, and I totally appreciate that." Because it does bring in income that allows me to keep doing this, and to afford other crafty things, to continue making content with. So I totally appreciate that. But so this is the new thing is Reels, right? Instagram Reels. I don't know if you're on Instagram or not, but you can share. It's basically a reel is a short snippet of video that I think they've up on TikTok. It can be 3 minutes long. I don't have the TikTokies. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have one. um, just because I don't want it on my phone. So, but Instagram does have Reels, which is take on the TikToks, and it can be 1 minute long. And then Facebook obviously is also like Facebook owns Instagram now. You can share Reels as well, but they're only 30 seconds long. So one of my friends had said like that's where they're really concentrating the algorithm at to push your content out is on Reels. So if you can figure out how to use them, like it's a good tool. So been playing around with the Reels for both our furniture business and for my card making. I tried it the other day with just a really quick little video of our Christmas lights outside of our house. I figured that was a pretty benign post. That we could, share and just kind of play around with it and see what we needed to do. And Eric did an amazing job putting up our Christmas lights, which I appreciate because my dad never decorated for Christmas outside. So I super love Christmas lights. Um, let's talk about this hat right quick. So here with this hat, I wanted the hat to look fuzzy. And like everything else, there is a technique that you can do for fuzzy things that will make them appear to be more textured. So I put down a base layer of C1 where I wanted my shadows to be because I still want this to look white. I don't want it to be a gray, fuzzy Santa hat. And so what I'm doing is I'm going in and I'm doing the stippling technique, which is a series of dots that are very close together for darker color and are more spread out for lighter color. And I'm going through all of my colors, the C1, the C3, and the C5, and then I am going back over them to kind of blend them out. And I'm leaving that white edge on top. There's another little add-in that we're going to do to make it look even more fuzzy before the card's over. But if there's anything that you ever want to color fuzzy, a sweater, a dress, an animal, like you can totally use that stippling technique on any of them. For her shoes, I am leaving a little bit of a highlight on the right hand side so that her shoes will look shiny. I'm also going to show you how to fix it if you don't leave enough of a highlight because I was not happy with my highlight. Um, but so anyway, I put up this Instagram reel of our Christmas lights and it was seemed relatively easy. So then I was watching other people's reels and they really are just like quick little digestible videos like that are super fast, and then you scroll to the next one and you scroll to the next one, and then social media sucks up all your time. But that's what it was, since my time is at a premium now, that's what we were talking about, and we've come full circle. um that is something that I can do while I am just like sitting on the couch. It doesn't require me to be tied to a camera because I've already filmed them. I do have to film on my phone for those instead of using my video camera, which is what I use when I'm doing YouTube videos like this. So there is a little bit of work involved with having to set up the camera for my phone and then, starting the video, stopping the video, starting the video, stopping the video, all that jazz. Because I don't know about you, but my phone is not holding like an hour long video that I've recorded. I just have too many things on my phone for it to do that. So, um, do you guys watch reels? This is what I want to know. Is this worth the time? Do you think that this is something that's going to be like when you're scrolling Facebook, even if you don't have Instagram, because they're on Facebook now too? Is that something that you're looking for? What about when you're on Pinterest? If you're on Pinterest, does the video catch your attention? Help me help us grow a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to get crazy, but I would like to kind of expand things because this year the channel has been pretty stagnant just because I was pregnant all year long and I was very tired, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. Growing a baby is hard work. Um so yeah, but I did one for our furniture business. So if you'd like to see that in action, that's our tailor made home. You can see that reel. And then I did one for the sky scene of this card. I tried to see if I could figure out a way to edit the Copic coloring. Um, but it's just, I mean, it just takes so long and you only get a minute. So, like, what do you cut out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what part of it? I can only speed it up so much um, before it just doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, I decided to do both of them in red. I toyed around with the idea of doing the reindeer's collar green, just to get that like traditional red green vibe for Christmas. But I didn't want it to blend into my sky, so I just decided I would do them both red so that they were matchy matchy. This type of card is really good for me right now because it has a strong focal point. Like, this image is adorable. Stop it. I know. They're super cute. Um, and you could make this Rudolph, or you could make it a regular reindeer like I did. You could make her an elf and maybe like put her in more green versus red. There's a lot of different options here for this image, and I think it's super cute. But it is very easy for me to use because I don't have to do multiple stampings in order to get a really cute scene, because I love my scene cards. Like, I can just stamp this image down, color it, die cut it out, and then do the background. So this whole card probably took me like an hour and a half, which is a pretty quick card for me with all of this coloring. um Unfortunately, my dear sweet child did not want to cooperate yesterday with the naps. So it was kind of like a very intermittent coloring, um, where I didn't get to do it all at one time. It just wasn't really a thing that got to happen. And unfortunately, that is what it is now. We have a wonderful support system. We're very, very blessed to have my mom and his mom, and my sisters watching our daughter while Peanut is in school if we need to get something accomplished, whether that's in the garage or me doing my crafting. There's lots of people to give us breaks. But like yesterday, I try to limit when we ask, because, obviously we chose to have a child and we would like to raise her. But we do need some help. Like, it takes a village. Fortunately, we have a village available to us, and we're very lucky to have that because not everybody does. So here with the white gel pen, this is how we're going to make this image look even more fuzzy. And again, these white gel pens are relatively inexpensive to purchase. I prefer the medium size point of the Jelly Roll. I think they're like $1 something for the pen. And then I'm just going to go over it and add in some white dots, making sure to go over the black line that's drawn. And that's what really is going to make it fuzzy. The other thing I'm doing is making sure to add her shoelaces back in. I am replacing that highlight that I covered over on her shoe, and then to the bells and the tip of the reindeer's nose. I love to outline my images. That makes me happy. I would recommend doing it before you die cut it if you're going to do it. I did not outline the fuzzy white part of the hat because that would be silly. I just spent all this time trying to cover it up, right? So then I went ahead and die cut it out and then ran it through my Spellbinders Platinum. And now here we are. We're going to use the white gel pen again to do some stars in the sky. Or you could use this for snow. If you were going to do snow, you would go right over the top of your image. I'm sure I'll do that in another card because, again, winter lasts 500 years in Ohio. But I also did a couple of, little stars where I kind of flicked the white gel pen to the top, bottom, left, and right. And then I'm going to add in some shadow underneath where my die cut is going to go. This is, again, another thing that is helpful for me to stamp down that image the first time so that I can get that placement correct. So I use it for the hill in the background, and then I use it for the shadow that I need to be underneath them. That's why I do that. And then here, I've just laid my die cut on top of it because that white outline and me we're not party goers. We're not friends together. So I just laid it down there so I could make sure that I would get that lined up. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment directly onto my background. This sentiment is included in the set. It's not an extra one. Again, another way that is saving me time. And then I'm going to pop the whole thing up on foam tape. I just, cut some smaller pieces for the little reindeer legs and filled up the rest of it. This card was really, really quick for me, and I totally appreciate that right now. Plus, I mean, their images are so cute. It's just so cute. You can't get over it. So now once I have this in place, I am then going to obviously leave everything else on the snowbank with the white outline, and I'm going to pick a color that matches my sky. For me, that was BG45, but whatever sky color you chose to do, I really love, and I'm sure that I'm going to try to do it more often, non-traditional sky colors. When I see them on other people's cards, and I just never think to do it because I'm busy using blue on everything because I love blue so much. But I really would like to branch out and kind of mix up my skies, especially with there being so much white on winter cards due to the snow. So that's it. That's the whole card. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I super appreciate that. If you could let me know your opinion on the reels, I would really, really be interested to hear what you have to say. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.